What is cracking, lads? We are back for our second part of our weekly review. Now that we went over the third, day before the fourth, we can start on the fifth, which was my first day after kind of like a little break, a day break in between. Because honestly, I did not remember that the market was going to be closed. I didn't realize it was going to be a bank holiday. I forgot that, holidays are real. But anyways, so that day break actually did affect my mentality here for when I came back because not only were my parents gone on vacation for most of that week, so I was day trading alone in my room. I already day trade alone, but for some reason, just knowing that people are around and that they may ask me how I did and stuff like that, it's like the secret layer of accountability, because I really realized that without them there, I had a day where I really struggled mentally with just being disciplined just because of that fact. So it was something I really appreciated realizing because, again, it made me realize doing these YouTube videos help counter that because no matter if someone's there, if someone's not, if I'm home here at college again, I have these videos to keep me accountable. I won't need, somebody physically around to like check me, you know what I mean? So anyways, our news for the 5th, just looking here, it looks like we have some 8:30 red folder and then 11 o'clock. So I'm pretty much only going to wait till 8:30 and then do my normal plan, see how market open is, look for a play around 10 o'clock. So let's check the notes out here before we look at the charts, see what we had written. I do remember this day, I was watching a TikTok live of a guy day trading NQ, and I just wanted to watch it because it was the first time I actually saw someone live trading NQ, um, which I find annoying that nobody really does that because everyone's always just TikTok live, like trading, stupid stocks and like they just have a bunch of gunk on their charts and it's just not attractive. So this was just a guy that like I saw and I was like, oh, maybe I can like see what he thinks and like, what's going on with him. But I think I kind of got frustrated over it because I at least knew that I was going to play with the 150K account first because I wasn't going to risk my 50K account doing something new. So that was a good step by me, but I did throw away the account doing that because I think what happened was that I just that's why I like trading alone because a lot of people like trading alone anyways because they think and feel like watching other people like it just influences them like just slightly too much to where they don't feel like they're making their own choice. And this day I did lose like $1,000. I wasn't scared of losing it because I'm always experimenting on this account, so I don't really care that I lost it. It was already like in the dumps. So but um, I realized I was aligning my bias with him instead of just making my own, and he was just taking stupid trades. So what I did is I took a break, came back from the 50K for power hour, and I made a decent trade. Right, so I said I have a lot of work to do before I can cash out by August. Hopefully, it's a good ending of a day, give me a boost in confidence. So apparently, I fought my mentality all day, and I gave myself a B. Seems pretty good. This was gone, but I'm sorry, this was gone, but I made $817 on the 50K account. So I actually do want to see what's up with that because this was one of my best days. I think it actually was my best day for my entire combine. So let's hop on these charts. Let's hit the replay here. We're going to go Friday at 8 o'clock. Boom. So just in the 1 hour, we can see that leading up to this, I'm going to go full screen. So like I said in the last video, we took that 1 hour buy side eventually through that 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock pump. Sorry about that. So our AM was just kind of dead, really no action at all. So again, this is why I don't trade the AM because there's literally nothing to see here. But we do have a sell side liquidity here, and I could put a buy side here, but usually I just don't because now I recognize how much the market pumps upwards that it's pretty pointless to keep setting buy side liquidities. It's better to just watch the price action and make a judgment from there. Like I want to put down buy side liquidities when they're like this, when the trend actually changes over that time frame, and not just when we leave one and eventually come back later, because then that will maybe mislead me on my bias and on what I think price action is going to do. So just coming in here, we're at 7 o'clock, so let's see what happens at 8:30. Boom, that's 8:30 news for you. Not surprising whatsoever. Like I said, don't trade red folder news like that. You're just going to get stopped out even if you have the right bias. So boom, within the 5 minute, within the 1 minute, it's just ridiculous. Again, I can't do the 15-second just yet. I can only do that for days after the 8th just because it doesn't there's only so much data that the candlesticks can cover. So even though I probably would use the 15-second on these days, and I probably did, I'm only going to be able to go down to the 1 minute. So you can see that's what happened there. Let's just go to market open because I'm definitely not doing anything until then. I'm probably not even awake. So what I'm actually going to do is, because I knew I messed up with the 150K account watching that bozo, I didn't write down the trade, but I want to see during during the silver bullet hour, during 10 to 11, I want to see if there was any trades that I can identify now that I should take. And, just see like how I would do if I, try to set myself up a trade like right now, seeing it live. So first thing I'm going to do is write this fair value gap here. I'm also going to take note of this right here, this buy side liquidity. Again, just practicing getting quicker and faster with identifying these things. This is pretty much going to be our AM range because the market is going to be drawn to one of these sides. I just am not entirely sure which, right? Because I don't think this was Thursday, 1 o'clock. So yeah, this is our AM high and low for sure. So let's just keep going with the action here. Again, we're not gonna see this displacement and trade it. We're gonna see the displacement market and see the reaction. And here we have a good positive reaction on that bullish displacement. So I'm gonna start thinking we're kind of bullish here, and we are reaching up towards that that buy side liquidity. Again, that's why I don't really mark them all the time, because then I'm just gonna want to take a trade targeting that, and it didn't even do that. It set almost equal highs. And now we had some more fair value gaps here, ran through, right, creating its own bearish one. Actually, that's not one. And we have one more here. It's pretty small, though. I'd kind of not care about it. Again, just ran through anyways. So far we had one bullish confirmed. That's why we wait, because then it just got disrespected instantly. So at this point, I don't know what the market is trying to do. We went down pretty far. I wouldn't consider this really a leg. So maybe I could think we're going to discount of this range, but I wouldn't bank on that, especially with my bullish displacement here getting disrespected. So let's just see what happens. So I'm kind of just getting the vibe we're gonna have some choppy action, right? We have a bearish displacement followed by bullish displacement, right? So I think if it gets disrespected and then we also displace through it, we're still kind of leaning bullish. But again, I just don't have the best idea yet. So if I saw this get confirmed, then I would really want to take a long here. We touched that buy side liquidity, so that's now gone. No trades to take here, by the way. Still nothing really catching my eye. Let's hop on the 5 minute. Some displacement there, but I just don't think we're going to come touch into that really. Let's see the next candle real quick. Yeah. So I would have this here. I'd be tempted to trade that, but I would not, because again, stuff like this is going to happen. It's just going to get completely ran through. Yep. So at this point, I just have no idea what the market wants to do, and I should not be taking any trades at all. And I think I definitely took a trade during this time because I was watching the other guy. So this is exactly what I mean. I want to be focusing on my own objectives, on my own recipe. I don't want to be, tempted or swayed by some clown. This all gets disrespected. There's some bearish here. I just think it's a little choppy, but kind of leaning bullish. So I would want to see that high get taken. Then I would really think we're pushing bullish. See, because we have high here, we have a higher low, higher high, higher low. If I really hit this higher high here, then I'm gonna trade the next bullish displacement. I would think, right? Because we have this here now again. Chop on the 5 minute. No displacement since then. Everything is contested. So this was really our last true displacement, bearish, and again just disrespected again. So we just don't have any clear signal of what the market wants to do. It's just back and forth. So we do reach a higher high, so that's good news. I think now we want to push bullish, and guess what? It's almost 11 o'clock, so that 11:30 news I think is going to be coming out soon. Let's double check. 11 o'clock news. Okay, so it's already happened. Or it's about to happen, actually. Okay, yeah, right there. It's probably going to push up right on 11 o'clock. Oh, no, it's going to come back down. Okay. So this would be a trade I think I'd want to take, especially seeing that there. Now that that touched in there, I would want to do something like this. I would be on the 15-second, by the way, so like it seems unreasonable that I could plan this right now, but I think I would go for a trade like this after getting that confirmation of the higher, the higher high, higher low. Finally, we hit that higher high. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this fib retracement, put it right there. This is our discount. See, this is a little bit too high. I think that's the only reason I wouldn't want to take this long. And because of all of that congestion right here, like I would, I think that would get tested for sure. And, this 3 candlestick pattern seems kind of like an order block, if you want to call it that. I don't really mess a lot with, I don't mess with really anything besides the SMTs and the, what do you call it? The SMTs and then the displacements, because people like to trade like order blocks like this because it's first very bearish and then immediately very bullish. Some people want to take trades off that. I will mark them sometimes, but I'm not going to trade off of it unless it aligns with more confluence. So I think at this point now I'm going to be looking at I'm going to be wanting to see some kind of SMT here. That would be really nice for me to see. I'm trying to get this to look nice. That's what I need to do. All right, here we go. So as we see here, we have the higher high, higher low, higher high, and boom, this is an SMT right here. Nice and beautiful, honestly. I wish this is what I was doing that day because I would have made some good bank. So boom, and then boom. That's an SMT, pure as day. Even on the 5-minute, let's make sure. Yep. Couldn't be a more clear SMT to see in the world. Right, so I would actually want to take a trade right here. This would be a great trade to take, especially if we have the 1 minute right here, right? If we tapped into it, which we did not, so I wouldn't have actually been able to take this trade here, unfortunately, which makes me pretty sad because it looks like a beautiful setup with the SMT there. But the SMT does absolutely confirm we're bullish. So even if I miss my entry right here, now I'm definitely going to be looking for a new entry. So that makes this fair value gap a little more tradable for me. So we're going to have this higher high here, and then, yep, we're in sync now. So if I were to take a long, I would definitely want to tap in on this fair value gap. Let's say 11, have our 9 points of risk. Again, now we have an order block to mix our confluence with. So now I would feel more confident in doing this. And then we want our 27 points of profit, which is that. But in all honesty, I want to take this high, which means that I can set a much wider risk like this. 13 points for 41, 3.7 RR. Sorry, 3.17. So this trade looks very good to me if I was able to take that. So let's see what would happen if I took this long. Boom. This is an amazing trade if I was paying attention to that. And I'm very happy I can identify this. So anyways, so that's really the only trade I see, because now around 11 o'clock our volume is going to be dying down. So we'll see the next few minutes, see if anything is worth still taking. If I had happened to miss this as well because I wasn't willing to take that larger risk for that larger reward, our last possible really trade before lunch hour and me not wanting to trade anymore would be something like this. So we can just get rid of this. We know it worked out, right? So we're gonna do something like this. We see 1 minute displacement. That's really in a juicy discount range. So if we go back down there, I would definitely want to take a trade. So let's hope that we get some good retracement. It's just pumping up. We still have very good volume though, which is kind of surprising going into lunch hour. Let's see the 5 minute here, see if there's anything interesting. No displacement. There's some right there, but I wouldn't be taking such an aggressive long because any retracement would just stop me out, which is not a good habit. This is a very big pump up. And yeah, this would be going into the time where I just wouldn't want to take a trade anymore. Our volume's kind of dying down here. And it's just too bullish. It's too bullish to get on. So yeah, I think I would wait here. At this point, I would say, okay, we missed our one good trade. Unfortunately, we couldn't tap in. Or was that right here? Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't tap into that. So it's probably just better to wait for power hour, which is what I ended up doing. So let's just get rid of all of this now. Our sell side there is still pretty relevant. Let's skip forward to power hour for when I took my trades. Let's verify them, see if I could have done any better. So let's go to the 5 minute because at this point I'm going to be waiting quite a bit. And let me take this trade. 213. Okay, so we're coming up on it. So this is me coming back from lunch saying, okay, you know, what's been going on the whole time? What are we targeting? This is a low down here. I don't think we're coming down here because we are targeting highs today. We have one big leg up here. If we do retrace, hopefully it's a lot lower. But at this point, I don't really see a clear, you know, entry just waiting for me. Gets a little choppy here. I would definitely avoid that. That's exactly why you stop trading around 12. Don't want to be caught up in that. And now we're just waiting, really. So 155. We're getting close to the time where I'd want to take a trade. So I think right now I'd want to see some displacement. And I took a short. So that's pretty surprising. Okay, yeah, I know why I'd want to take a short. So I'm going to probably see some big displacement here downwards, right? Yeah. And then I'm probably going to want to take a trade off of that. Yeah, because I recognize how much we're running it up. I think I see my logic here. So we're going to be doing this, right? We're going to say, okay, we've been super bullish. If we're going to keep going bullish, we're going to have to retrace just a little bit at least, right? I see these lows. We probably want to take them. I'm probably looking for an SMT. So if I do see an SMT here, that's absolutely going to push me towards this goal. So we're still pretty in sync. I don't think there's been any major SMTs here yet. All right, let's drop down on the 1 minute. Oh God. So yeah, we're looking in sync. Nothing crazy to see here. You know, I wouldn't count this as an SMT. It's literally 2 candlesticks. So coming into 213, I'm very curious as to what our trade is going to be here. So this is literally 213. I see some bearish displacement, right? But that gets disrespected. So I don't know why I would want to take that trade. I think what I'm doing here is I'm realizing if we're going to go down right now to retrace, we would not be reaching this high, which I see we don't. Maybe on this 3 candlestick formation, I realized we're going to start hitting lower. And it lasted 9 minutes. So I'm very curious as to what I am thinking here. Currently, I don't really agree with the trade, so I'm just waiting to see if there's something that's going to make me agree. I do like seeing how I can tell we're going to retrace in a second, but I think I'm just going too early. And yeah, boom. So we chop up a little bit, and then eventually we head down, and I'm pretty much already out by 222. So that's only 29 points down to like 16. I mean, if like this was one short, it would be 370. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. I think I cut this one early. I think that's what I did. I think I might have just stopped my trade early because I was getting nervous and I didn't agree with my bias here. Because there's really not much, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. This doesn't look like a very good trade. I think after this leg happens, then maybe I would, you know, want to see a lower high and then I would get in on a low. I don't think this is enough to really, you know, justify that, especially when there's a small SMT here. Actually, I think this would kind of be an SMT because NQ pushes up while ES pushes lower. Let's just see what happens in this action here. Yeah, and it's not even out of sync. They're actually still in sync. So after this right here, this is when I would want to take my short. This is the best time to take a short, I think. We're gonna look for some displacement here, which we do fine right here. Gets verified. This is when I want to take it. Okay, I see the higher high, then we hit a lower low, lower high, lower low. That is when I want to take a trade here. Not as early as I did. I think I got a little bit lucky because I jumped the gun, and you know, I think that's why I didn't even finish my trade because I was getting just nervous. So I think we might have just been practicing a bad habit there. Yeah, it's just this is too early. Like I should have been out of my trade here. I should have been out of my trade at 229 if I was actually following my rules. And 29 to 06 is $23, which is like pretty close to what I want to take because I'd want to do 27, right? If I was actually taking a short here, number one, I don't have much to go off of. I would probably just be doing. I would see like the chop fest, right? So 213, I would see how we're chopping up. I would want to put my risk up here. That's 11.25. Let's say 11, just because I'm scared. And then 27 is this much, right? So this already is not fitting very well because I'd want to target this low, which means a 1 to 9.1 is not right. I'd only be taking like this much risk. So if anything, I should be only taking that much. This is a trade I should take. But I don't think that's how I played this out. So that's why I don't think this was a very good trade. But it's okay. We made money. We walked away with a lot. A win's a win. But in the future, I shouldn't be taking a trade like this. This is a good one. I would like to take this one. And what I would do is I would say, okay, if we tap back up into this range, we're going to do 615, 9 points, which is pretty good. Those candle highs right there seems pretty reasonable. We shouldn't be retracing that much higher. And if we do 27, what low do I want to target? That's the problem, is you don't have a low to target. So, I'd want to hit discount here, but in all reality, I don't have a good low to target. That's why this is not a, super smart idea. That's why you want to trade the trend and not against it. I don't want to trade a retrace because I don't know when the retrace is going to end. And I think that's why I actually switched to longs after this, because I kind of realized I'm not playing on the right side here. And we hit our retrace, right? So this trade actually makes a lot more sense. We're going to do a 240 for 10 minutes. So this would be right here. Right, I'm assuming I probably want to do like 98. We do the 9 points. Look at that. Yeah, that would be much, much better. Maybe I would even just do down to this wick, but there's got to be something that I'm doing this based off of, right? Look at this. This is probably what I'm targeting. Yep. So we're hitting that. And I would want my risk to be down here probably. And probably want it a little bit higher. This is the max I could tolerate. And then I would be targeting this high at least. So this is like safe high. And we do get 30 plus 37 ticks. I think I was just scared this day because I'm not going through with my trades. Plus 37 ticks is pathetic. That's just me immediately stopping. I think that's what I mean by fighting my mentality all day, We are hitting higher highs. We are doing what we need to do. My target is definitely going to be this wick right here, though. And then, yeah, that's my low. This just seems like an okay trade. We're wicking, and boom. See, this is a trade I'd want to take. This is what I should have been doing with the two mini contracts and not 5 micros, and also not cutting it off at plus 37. That's like a 1-to-1. That's terrible. Cutting off at 37 is like only making $9. It's like doing this. That's what I did, basically. And that's terrible. Probably because I was targeting this high, just playing it safe. And then I was scared of this. But as you can see here, the structure is proving itself, and we should have actually done this trade. I like that trade very, very much. It's going to even keep going, I think. But I'm not going for this. I'm not that hungry. I'm going for this because I want less risk, and that means I can't have as much reward. But if I was doing multi-contract trades, this would be my runner for sure, right? So, and I'd probably be buying in the other contract, like maybe up here, right? So that's that. I'm glad I finished positive that day. It was actually my most positive day. But what doesn't make sense is that this trade, which was the one I made the most off of, didn't make much sense, and I cut it off kind of early. So it's unfortunate, but that is our Friday, and this was a very confidence boosting day as I was fighting with myself mentally. and a win's a win, right? So what we have to do though is go back, verify those wins, see if we're practicing good habits or not. And now that I know what to improve off of. I know what I'm doing wrong, right? So hope you guys enjoyed that review. I know I was kind of blazing through it, but I don't want to make these videos too long. So that means I'm going to be kind of quick with them. Our next video is going to be on the next week, that next Monday, which is the 8th, which I took pretty small loss on, but I know this was the day I was by far the most mentally unforgiving of, because I just was over trading and I couldn't walk away with not even a small win. I couldn't walk away with a small loss either. So you'll see that video pretty soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like, the quicker video style, if you like me flying through it, going back through the trade, seeing what I liked, what I didn't like, leave a like or a comment. And yeah, hope you guys have a good one.